What's going on, everybody? Wow, look at my hair. Anyway, it's a good time to take a moment here and appreciate this t-shirt. It says, Can-Am Hair Don't Care. Pretty cool. A buddy of mine got me that for my birthday last year. Or this year, I guess, because it's not quite the end of the year yet. But we're going to be working on the lawnmower today. Give me a second. Too bad you can't turn this around. I don't understand. I gotta stop the video. Oh! It's kind of ridiculous. Gotta stop the video just to flip it around for some reason on this phone. Anyway, today, pull the exhaust off, pull the plastic off, pull the air filter off, and all that stuff. Try and get this thing a little more situated. That way I can see if we're going to clear the steering rack and everything else down here and see where it kind of bolts holes I'm going to have to drill and junk like that. That way I know exactly how this is going to be situated, and then I need to get measurements for shims or whatever underneath the motor. We'll figure all that out as it comes. But got the wiring harness here also. I'm going to try and put that in. I'm not going to put the seat on yet. I have it sitting over here. Oh, and check it out. X3 Can-Am. Anyway, got all that stuff sitting over there. I'm not going to put it on yet. Just going to leave it alone because there's no point in trying to put the seat on here if I'm just going to paint this dude eventually. I'm thinking about just painting it red like it was, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Haven't fully committed to it. But I did get it to where the hood will kind of close. Not quite right, but I mean, it kind of closes. But I'm going to start taking all this stuff off there, and then we'll see what we can get this thing into. So guys, to my ultimate surprise, this thing here has like freaking 3 little covers that go on it and like 9,000 bolts. You got 4 that hold this first cover on. Then you got 4 that hold this one on. Then you got a bolt over here, and then the exhaust bolts right here, which to my ultimate surprise, they came off first try. There's one under here. See if I can get to that on video just to show you guys. Oh yeah, check that out. I'm impressed. Really did not think that was going to happen. Repping the old Ryobi there, and if you hear the fan, repping it over there too. It's cheap, whatever. Anyway. So pull this dude off. I'll try to. I'm trying to get more action shots because the last video I made wasn't very action-y, more informative, and I didn't like that. Didn't like the way it looked, didn't like the way it sounded, none of that. So there's that. Probably, honestly, going to take the Sawzall and cut that little inlet over there off of there. Oh wow, that one right there, pull that off of there and Sawzall it on here. That way I can keep those bolts on there, and then I can stuff something in there to kind of cover all that. And look at that nasty, oh gosh, that came out of that exhaust. That's nasty. Anyways, so I'm about to take the top off of this. I'm going to take a Sawzall out of that exhaust, put that on there, and figure some stuff out real quick. Be right back. So check it out. Grab the old bandsaw, Milwaukee, not Ryobi. I don't know how many of you are going to like that or not. I have DeWalt tools too, but anyway, I haven't had to pull those out yet. So I pulled out the old bandsaw, and don't even have to use it because there's bolts on the bottom of this. So let's see if those come out worth a crap. If not, is what it is. And then after that, we're moving on to this plastic, and I'll video the whole thing, so we'll see it. Woo! So check this out. Unlike the last little portion there, I'm still messing with it, and yeah, I got a impact rated socket on there, something like that. Anyways, so check this out. This little dude here, oh, it's stuck now. Anyways, so it goes on like this, right? But the other flange is the same size, so I can flip this dude upside down like that, right? I can cut a hole, unless it'll fit right in that hole there, but I can cut a little bit out of that, right, and get the exhaust to go underneath the lawnmower. That way I can run it straight out the back. How handy is that? I don't think that was supposed to be an option from Craftsman, but boy howdy, it sure is. That's what I'm talking about right there, planning ahead. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and mount this thing back on there like it's supposed to. Oh, if I can ever get it off there. Gasket, don't need that where we're going. Wow, okay, maybe we do, never mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this back on there. Oh look, I can even come out the front, do like a turbo header thing. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it back on like this and put that back in the car. That way I can put something in there to keep critters from getting in there. But after that, back to the plastic again like I keep saying. Then I gotta get rid of all this stuff. I kinda wanna keep it just because that's how Grandpa started it, but it's a really old piece of Romex and I kinda don't wanna catch anything on fire. So there is that. Alright guys, so here's what we got. I went ahead and took the plastic cover off the top, that way we get a little more clearance up in these areas and over there on that side and stuff like that. But I don't want to cut the factory body on this mower unless I'm just barely nicking the side of it, and I'm going to show you this on the other side in just a second as to why I'm talking about that. But I'm touching where the valve is up here, it's touching on the front, and I'm almost touching right here on the steering rack, because you can see where it moves and turns and stuff like that, and it's definitely going to hit, so I'm going to have to make some modifications there. It's not sitting perfectly center, but if you look very carefully right here, that bolt hole for the other motor is right there and pretty close to this one right here, so I might be able to make the factory stuff work with the old Briggs. But the carburetor hits here. Let me just go around to the other side. Look, I took off the plastic stuff there. Not too crazy, not too crazy. But so right here, the carburetor hits on this corner here, so I might have to notch this just a little bit, just to make some clearance to pull that motor more this way. But other than that, it's looking like it might fit pretty decently. Just about got all the motor mount holes lined up where they should be. Just got to get a few little measurements here and figure out what I got to change, like carburetor for instance. And look how nasty that thing is on the inside. Oh yeah, look how gross that is. Nice. Don't know what all is in there, but it's nasty, I know that. But anyways, so gonna get some measurements on this dude and see where I can get this motor to actually lay down and fit perfectly. But for now, that's where it is. My wife looked up on that last video and made it really awkward for me videoing, but anyway, I'm not used to this stuff yet. But I also thought about something. So on the other side, I was talking about cutting this, right? If I undo these bolts and then just move the whole front fascia forward a little bit, it'll look like a factory front end, but it'll actually be just a little bit longer. So I'm thinking about doing that just on both sides, just taking this front piece right here and moving it further forward about a ½ inch to an inch maybe. That way it'll clear the motor here. I already have clearance here, but it's not much. You can see it right there. I have clearance. It moves without moving the motor, but it's still too close for comfort, really. So I'm gonna go ahead, and not today, I'll do a video on this later, but I'm gonna go ahead and move this forward just a hair and then make it match on both sides. And I have fully committed to the exhaust comes out right here in this bottom corner. If you can see it right there, the exhaust bolts. I'm gonna see if I can make that angle around and then go right through this hole here, right on top of the I-beam, and then shoot to the back of the mower. Because I think that's gonna look pretty good, even though there's a solid plate right here, but that's all bugs that'll get fixed. I may even go below it or something, I don't know. Just depends on how much room we have under there. But for right now, the motor's in there. Doesn't look great, but eventually I'll get all the plastic stuff put back on it. But it looks pretty decent, and I'm kind of excited for this. Hopefully it all works out. Sorry guys, real quick, I did lie. I thought that was all I had for you today, but I went ahead and decided to pull the front clip off of this thing. Sitting over there, waiting, ready for some stuff. I did put the exhaust back on, plugged it up. This is not how I want to run it. It will change, but all 4 bolt holes line up here, and the accessory drive is actually just long enough to fit where we wanted it to go. So the rest of this should be pretty easy. I don't have to order all that stuff that I thought I was going to have to. So let's see what happens. I appreciate it, guys. That's all I got for you. Again, this time, finally. See you guys later.